Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Preserves. In today's video we're going to be going over a cymbal. What that cymbal is this cymbal right here. This right here is a Zildjian piggyback. As you can see, I've owned probably 5 of these. I still have 3 of them, but the sound quality on these is great. They crack right there on every one of them. This one's got a couple of cracks in it. That's why I stopped using this one, is because it cracked twice. This one here has got a crack in it right here, as you can see. And this one cracked, almost, I don't know, probably a quarter of a way into the middle of the cymbal, as you can see right there. And they've all kind of cracked right there. If you use these cymbals as a standalone, they kind of sound like a king. It's like this, and then I have this one stacked on top of it like this, and it makes an awesome sound. And these two fit together like they were made to fit together, yet they were like made years and years apart. So I've tried to recreate this cymbal, which has never happened. I've tried to recreate that cymbal with multiple other cymbals, just in a smaller version. So what we have here is a Zildjian Edge. I don't know if you've ever heard of these before, but this is a 9-inch little tiny, it's like a China Splash. And then I've had a few other ones. This one is a Pang, and this one isn't quite as inverted as this one. As you can see, the cup on this one is a little bit different, whereas this one, it kind of has that round over, just not as pronounced, has that round over just like this. So you can tell that this one's a little bit closer, but it doesn't sound as good as that Zildjian piggyback. But this one does sound good. What I had stacked with this one for a while, and I don't have that cymbal anymore. I wish I would have kept it, because they're getting harder and harder to find, the older ones of them anyway. A 9-inch Trash Splash. I'm going to put these on my kit and give you a different give you a sound comparison of what they sound like, and then maybe give you a sound comparison of what they might sound like stacked. Alright, so we're back here behind the kit now. I've got that 9-inch Edge right here. I got the Zildjian piggyback here, and I've got the Dream Pang on this side right here. So I'm just going to go through them and let you hear the sounds of them, and then we'll put some stacked cymbals on them. I've got this one to go with this, which is a Zildjian A 8-inch. Then I got a Zildjian A Splash 10-inch to go with this one. And then of course I've got my FX stack to go with the piggyback. And we'll set those up after we go through the sounds of each one of those. And I'm not sure if you can find this one anymore. If you like the sound of it, you can look, but I haven't really looked for this one for a long time. And we'll invert each one of these so you can also see it, see the sound of what they sound like, flipped upside down or right side up, or however you may look at it. So anyway, let's start out with this piggyback. In my opinion, it sounds more like a Kang than it does anything else. So we'll start out with that. And this one right here, like I said, is marketed as a China splash. Let's start out with this Zildjian piggyback, and then we'll do the other two. So here's what that sounds like. As you can tell, it just kang, kang. It's a really nice, just short and sweet, to the point. Rings out a little bit, but when you're playing it inside of like a drum beat and all that, it just, all you hear is that kang sound right at the top of the note is what you hear. So now let's hit that dream. And you can tell that they're calling it a pang, and it kind of does have a pang quality. So it does kind of sound like a pang. Now this one is a China splash. And that sounds pretty good, really, I mean, by itself, but it's not something that I prefer myself. But it does have that nice high-pitched tonality. Now let's flip these over, and we'll get the other sound out of them. We'll just boop right over. And I'm using these really handy-dandy things. You just put them on and push them down and push the buttons on the side, and they're super quick for, let me, I don't even know if that's gonna work with those. Let me flip that one over first. There we go. That's gonna be really close right there, the way I have this set up. Alright. So now the piggyback. You hit it like that, it kind of rings out a little bit more, but it still has that kangy quality to it. And that one as well rings out a little bit more on this side. Now this one is the opposite of what these two were in the beginning. So now let's hear what that sounds like. The quality of those is really nice, like together, I think. Let's stack it like that. Which is just like that. Alright, so I got it stacked up here now. Let's see how she sounds. There we go. Now you get the sound of what they sound like stacked in different scenarios. Let's flip this one over. This one does have a different sound being stacked the other way. That's just the way that I like it stacked. So you put it this way, then you put this way, and it does give you a different tonality. I don't like it this way as much. So, I don't like it that way as much. Some people might like it sound stacked like that, but that's not my preference. I prefer it so it's kind of like a hi-hat type scenario. So, you put it on like that, you flip this one over, it barely fits into the situation. The edges meet up perfect. And you barely put this on, and you got a clap sound. That's how I like that cymbal. So that actually, in my opinion, choked out like that I think they sound better. This one gives you a nice clap quality. And those give you a nice trashy sound. So like I said, let me go around the kit. We'll get this stuff off the kit. And then I'll show you what we have with, you know, what I did stack it with. And so if you wanted to pick up any of this stuff, then you could pick up these cymbals. Like I said, you know, I don't know if you'll be able to find this Zildjian Splash China or Trash Splash or whatever they called it, but I was mixing it with this Zildjian A, and this is a 8-inch splash. So I don't know if I know you'll be able to find these are readily available. They've made a lot of them. This is just the traditional one, and like I said, this is the Dream. I'm pretty sure it's Dream Bliss because it's kind of the same logo. And this is a Pang. And I was mixing that with a Zildjian A Splash 10-inch. You know, and then this one right here is pretty readily available as well. This is a Zildjian FX stack. It's not effects, it's FX stack. So I don't know if they still make these, but I've seen them and they're pretty readily available. And then this one, like I said, I think these went out of production in the early 2000s sometime. This is the Zildjian EFX piggyback. And I believe they only made these in the 12-inch. So if you find one in a 10-inch, you could let me know. But I've never seen them in a 10-inch. But like I said, I've owned one of these pretty much on every kit that I've ever had. And they're getting harder and harder to find. And these, like I said, it's my favorite, like, China type cymbal. You know, they have other ones. They have the Oriental line that comes close to this, but it's not quite the same sound. And you can get one of those Oriental ones that sound like kind of like this, and they do have those in the 12-inch variety, but in my opinion, they just don't sound the same. There's quite a big difference. And like I said, these aren't all going to sound the same either. So if you like the sound of this one that I have on my kit right now, like every one of them has sounded a little bit different to some degree. Some are a little bit lower pitched and some are a little bit higher pitched. This one's right in the middle. I can't remember how much this one, but I'm guessing it's in the 600 gram range, somewhere in there. And but if I find another one of these or whatever, I'm probably gonna pick it up because they are getting increasingly harder to find. Now, something I didn't go over is these Temu effects splashes. I didn't run any of these with, you know, I bet you that maybe this Pang and this would sound good together. Kind of like my effect stack. And matter of fact, let's throw that up on the kit really quick and we'll see how she sounds. We'll just throw it right up here. I bet you that would sound a little better. Give her a little bit more choke. Now that's a little bit better of a sound. That's a mid-range clappy sound. I like that one better. That sounds a lot better than the full 10-inch on there. If you guys liked the Temu cymbal stacked with this. Is probably about the only application I'd use this Temu crappy sounding cymbal. It sounds decent and stacked on this Dream Bliss. I have 2 of these Temus, and so I guess maybe you could probably even do like a stack with like this Zildjian edge China splash, and you could stack that, and that one actually fits better like that. I could put it like that too, and I bet you that would work out. So yeah, so I might have found a new application for these Temu crappy ass freaking Temu freaking, I don't even think they're B8. They're probably just colored tin or something. But yeah, you could totally set those up like that. Anyway, that's going to do it from the preserves today, guys. And with that, peace.